I was discussing dharma basically. So, there could be a question that Swamiji, neutralizing ragadvesha is a gives a makes me qualified, or following dharma. It's one and the same. Doing what is to be done and not doing what you like. Generally, what you like you do. Not what you are supposed to do, you do. Yeah. That is where everywhere conflict. Yeah. You like to get up late in the morning. And what you are supposed to do as a sadhaka, as a seeker, I should get up early in the morning. There is always a conflict. Generally, what you are supposed to do, you don't like to do. Literally. And what you are not supposed to do, you like it to do. Even in eating also. You are not supposed to take more sugar. No. You are not supposed to take more because of certain issues. LDL more, this more. So fried things. But that thing only you like. You are not supposed. So this is what the conflict. Conflict of dharma versus ragadvesha. And your free will, is always in favor of dharma. I will do what I am supposed to do, not what I like to do. I will not do what I am not supposed to do, not what I don't like to do. Follow? And thereby you basically neutralize your likes and dislikes. It's also one and the same thing. Neutralizing ragadvesha, you are saying, and here you are saying following dharma, but it's one and the same. So basically that gives, you are able to basically, have a certain freedom. More you come out of the grip of ragadvesha, more you are enjoying the freedom. Because ragadvesha makes you basically very dependent for the fulfillment, etc. Anyway, so we accept this four purushartha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and artha, kama and dharma resolve into moksha, basically. The pursuit of security will ultimately resolve into moksha. Moksha means basically you understand that you are secure, you don't need security from outside, and nothing gives a security also. You are insecure, and what you add, thinking that this is a security, doesn't make you secure. Money gives a security, you think, and therefore you keep on adding money in your life. And I am feeling insecure, of course, and I add money in my life so that I will become a secure person. It doesn't help that way. It gives a sense of security for time being, but that is a sense of security is like, the person who is having a fracture and walking with that crutches. He has a sense of security. He is not secure, centered on himself. If he is centered on himself, he is secure. He can give up crutches, but not able to give up. Yeah. So this is the situation. Money is a crutches. When you count dollars, when you go home and count dollars, this Swami is a crazy guy. He doesn't understand. Look how much I feel secure. You count 100, big bundle. Count. You feel. So okay, now you are secure. Keep it inside. Okay. Are you secure? Something happens after 2 words. Money is lying there. And I told you, and if money gives a security, you should not make money secure. Swamiji, I'm worried about my security of my money. Hey, kya baat hai? So basically this doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. This is called a superimposition, which I talked to yesterday. So artha basically doesn't, addition of a money or a subtraction of money from your life doesn't make you secure. Addition of any kind of objects of pleasure or removing all the objects cannot give the pleasure. That's how when you get a momentary pleasure, when you enjoy a certain object, it gives a momentary pleasure. They are good, of course good. But you again become the same fellow, complaining. That shows you are bored with yourself. Yeah. Everyone is bored with oneself. We feel that I am bored with so and so. Nobody is bored with anybody. Everyone is bored with oneself. Which self? Displeased self. A wanting self. That is, with that I am bored. Because all the time it is murmuring. I want. So, Vedanta says, well, your problem is not that you are lacking security or fullness or pleasure. Your problem is you don't know that you don't lack of security and pleasure. That's the issue. Could you follow? Vedanta walks in and say, you don't have a problem of lack of securities or pleasure, but the problem is you don't know that you don't lack. The problem is problem of knowledge. There are two types of problem. One is the problem for which the solution is outside the problem. One is a problem where the solution is inside the problem. If I feel cold, etc., the solution is outside. I have to go to fireside. I have to go to Bahamas, etc. So you feel warm. Here you need not go, but we are from the east side, we feel Bahamas, Florida, oh, it's wonderful. Here, coming over here, I was telling them, oh, it's so beautiful weather. But the solution is outside. If you are hungry, solution is outside. But solving a puzzle, that jigsaw puzzle, and the problem is that you don't understand it. That's a problem. If you understand it, there's no problem. It's a solution is within. So this is a problem. The seeking securities, etc., is a problem. Seeking pleasure, etc. Well, the solution is within. Within means, well, understanding myself. Like the understanding puzzle is a solution of the problem. Same way, understanding myself is a solution. More you understand yourself, more secure. Therefore, artha resolves into moksha. Could you follow? Artha resolves into moksha. Basically, you don't seek securities, you are seeking a freedom from insecurity. You are not really seeking securities. Because seeking security means you have to be dependent ultimately on that. You don't want dependence. Nobody wants dependence. Nobody wants. But there is no way out. Like the person who has a fracture. No way out. He has to be on crutches. In fact, he asks every day to the doctor, when will I be free from this? This is one thing in which you remain associated. Generally, human mind has a tendency, if the mind remains associated with a given thing for a length of time, then gets attached to that thing. But this is one thing where you will not feel attached. I am telling you. In fact, you keep on asking to doctor, when will I be free from this? When will I be? No one wants dependency. So you are not really interested in seeking securities. You are basically interested in a freedom from being insecure. So you are not seeking artha, you are seeking moksha, freedom from insecurity. Artha resolves into moksha. Kama also resolves into moksha. You want this, you always look upon yourself as a displeased self, wanting self. You want to get rid of it, wanting self, complaining self, murmuring self. A self which is all the time lacking in something. There is always an uneasiness centered on I. People say freedom from sorrow, but Swami, this Bhagavad Gita talks about freedom from sorrow, but I am never having any kind of sorrow. Therefore, I don't need your Bhagavad Gita or anything. Basically. Yeah. They feel sorrow means that positively, the long phase and all. We are not talking that. Sorrow means an uneasiness centered on yourself. And that you will understand when you get a moment of joy. When you get a moment of joy, that uneasiness goes away. Yeah, that is sorrow. That all the time goes on. All the time. It's like the Shruti. I want. Keeps on. That's called sorrow. So you see yourself as wanting self. That's what I said. You are bored with that self. When the seeker and sought becomes one, and you don't see yourself as a seeking self, wanting self, you are very happy. And again something starts. You become seeker again. And then again seeker and sought becomes one. Advaita. Again you have a joy. Again you start seeking. The distance between seeker and sought is a nightmare. Dvaita is a nightmare. Seeker sought resolves in one flame of joy. In Advaita there is a joy, not in Dvaita. Dvaita means sought is away, seeker is here. So far the distance remains between them, you and your object which is desirable. The distance is there is no joy. The desirer and the object of desire becomes one. In one flame of joy, the subject-object has to get fused. The division is not felt. In that wholeness where subject-object is fused, that is the joy. That is you. So Advaita gives a joy. Yes. Our pursuit is pursuit of, Swamiji, we have a pursuit of happiness. It's a pursuit of Advaita, non-duality. Yeah. Pursuit of non-duality and pursuit of happiness are not two different things. Anyway, so Artha resolves into moksha, Kama resolves into moksha. Even you are a following dharma, etc., you are dharmika, but you take still yourself as a limited being, mortal being. You don't have a knowledge that you are Brahman. And therefore, other issues will be there. Of course, you have a certain independence in terms of getting joy, etc., but you see yourself as an individual limited being, wanting being is there, mortal being is there, fear of mortality will be there. So, dharma also, of course, is very close to moksha, but dharma also ultimately resolves into moksha. You see yourself, even a dharmika would see himself as a whole being, etc. So, basically, the person, when person is seeking moksha, basically all his struggle comes to an end. Therefore, we say there are not four purushartha. Basically, there is only one purushartha. If you don't know about the purusharthas, what you are seeking through a given purushartha, if you don't know, you have all four. When you don't know, you have more options. When you are an informed person, there are no four. There are no options. There is only one purushartha. That is moksha. This is how the thing is. So, really speaking, the purushartha is only one. That is moksha. But for informed person. That's how Shreyasya, Prayasya, Manushyametah, Tau Samparitya, Vinakti Dhira, etc., etc. Shreya and Praya, everything. That's all ultimately for a person who is basically, not informed. Ultimately, Shreya alone is the goal of life. Moksha alone is the goal of life. But here it says moksha also is not a goal of life. Na moksha. Naturally. Why? Because I am Chidananda. If I know I am free, then moksha is no more a goal for me. Could you follow? Therefore, it's like a saying, the person was having person went to, he prayed to a god. This is Puja Swamiji is okay, it's not mine, but very beautiful. So, person goes, called Ishvara and said, well, I want a head over my shoulders. And Ishvara got confused. And this person is so great that he made Ishvara beg pardon. So Ishvara literally said, beg your pardon, what did you say? So I'm asking you, give me a head over my shoulder. So he made even Ishvara confused. When Bhagavan said, well, I can give you another head. Yeah, back to back. So not only I will be confused, later people also will be confused. One on this side, other on the other side. So people will be always confused whether you are coming on that side or going away from that. Or I can give you a double decker. But with one head you are able to confuse. Then with two heads what will you do? So much confusion with one head. Means what you already have I cannot give. But you are almighty. You should not do, I am going to take away the title. Even Almighty cannot give you something which you already have. Right? So if I say I am Chidananda, then moksha is not goal for me because I am free. So therefore, Swamiji, moksha is also not goal. Yeah. But then the fourth line you are able to say. Yeah, I will say something. Shall I get up and say? No, you should know that I am a Chidananda. You need not say to me. You should be clear that I am Chidananda, I am a free self. If you are a free self, freedom is no more a goal for you. Therefore, moksha also is not a goal. Okay, now going ahead. I'm waiting. So fourth, na punyam na papam na saukhyam na dukkham na mantro na tirtham na vedana yajnah aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Here this individual is totally negated. Jiva. What is the lakshana of jiva? Karta, bhokta. The doer, enjoyer. Samsari. This is samsari. So, na punyam na papam na saukhyam na dukkham. Here you have to, pull a word from the previous verse. Me. Na punyam, me. Na me punyam. For me there is no punyam. For me there is no papam. For me there is no sukham, dukkham. When so all these punya papam are all karma phalas generated through the karmas, and those karmas are done by a doer. But Swamiji, I am a doer. You are not a doer. You are Chidananda. If you are a doer, you are a doer in all the three states, because that's your nature. Doership is there in a waking state. You are no more a doer in a dream state. No, not at all. You just enjoy the dream world, experience the dream world. You are doer only in one state. In a deep sleep state, no doership. Therefore, I am there. Doership is not there. Then that is not my nature. Same way, bhoktrutvam also. Experiencer, enjoyer. In a waking state. And in a dream also you are enjoyer. But that enjoyer is different. That enjoyer is enjoying that dream world, not this world. Right? That enjoyer is different. And that also keeps changing. In a waking state also, doer keeps changing. Right now I am a talker. After 10 minutes I may be a walker. So keeps changing. As an experiencer also I am constantly changing. I am hearer right now, experiencing music, enjoying music. Then I am seeing something beautiful sight. I am a seer. I am hearer, I am seer, I am this, I am toucher, I am smeller. Keeps changing. That I never change. The hearer goes away and the seer comes. Seer goes away, etc. So this is, what is variable is not me. What is invariable is I. And therefore, I am free from the doership and enjoyership. But then why do I say I am doer? Yes. So you identified with the organs of action, you become doer. Doer means that kind of a notion arises, I am a doer. Remaining Chidananda, you appear as a doer. Remaining Chidananda and identifying with the sense organs, etc., you become an enjoyer. If you identify with them, you are enjoyer. So definitely, this doership, doer is I, enjoyer is I, definitely. Where are they without you? Without I, they cannot be. The doer comes later. First you have to say I am. You have to say. Then doer comes, enjoyer comes. Yeah. Right? So I am will never change. What I am, which is there in a doer, and I am, which is there in the enjoyer, is one and the same. Invariable. Therefore, really speaking, this doership and enjoyership are just superimposed on the self because of, taking the organs of action as one self, sense organs as one self. Of course, mind is involved through the mind only, but naturally, when you enjoy something, your mind, of course, is there behind the senses also. So anyway, so na punyam na papam. So for me, there is no punyam as a karma phala, na papam. Na saukhyam, sukhasya bhavaha saukhyam. So saukhyam, for me there is no a happiness also. I mean, as a phala, punya converts into saukhyam, papam converts into dukkham. So now saukhyam na dukkham. So for me there are no comfortable situations, there are no uncomfortable situations. Please understand. No, Swamiji, for me there is definitely a comfortable situation. Then that I is different. Yeah. Identifying with this, there is a comfortable situation. Identifying with this, you have an uncomfortable situation. But as for a Chidananda, there is no comfortable situation, uncomfortable situation. Sukha dukkha is not there. And and all this ultimately, how did you learn all this? That this is punya karma, gives sukham, therefore I should do as a doer. Who told you? Well, all this Veda has told me. So if punya etc. is not there for me, therefore Veda also is not there for me. Na mantro na tirtham na vedani yajnah. So for me there is no yajna karma also. For me there is no Veda also. To say they are not for me, they were there before. You negate something because there was a possibility. Earlier it was there. Otherwise there is no Kundalini for me. They should have, Acharya should have said that. Well, there is no Kundalini for me. There is no context at all. Because all were there. You gained certain grace of Ishvara through all this. Now they are not there. You have gained the grace of Ishvara, you gained knowledge. Now I know I am Chidananda. Well, then they are not there. And therefore, so that means all these were necessary in order to say I am Chidananda ultimately. Could you follow what I am saying? All these are necessary in order to say I am Chidananda. And as a Chidananda now, they are not there for me. The mantra, the tirtham. Tirtham means any sacred place. Visiting a sacred place, generate punyam. All this as a doer, of course, I did all this. Gain a grace of Ishvara. Grace of Ishvara is very, very important. You cannot bypass Ishvara. If you can bypass Ishvara, wonderful. Then you should say, I am everything. If I am everything, I don't need a concept of Ishvara. Wonderful. But Puja Swami said, to say I am everything, definitely you need a grace of Ishvara. And so you need a grace of Ishvara to negate Ishvara. Yes. Now you say I am Chidananda. Or everything is Brahman. I am that Brahman. Yeah. Means there is no, you don't take into account Ishvara at all. But you are able to say that with the grace of Ishvara. And therefore, to negate Ishvara, you need a grace of Ishvara. It's an amazing thing. Ishvara, so this Veda itself you have taken support of. Generate punyam, tap the grace of Ishvara, and now, in fact, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, now I remember, there it is describing this Jnani and the nature of Atma, Nature of Atma, it said, Vedaha, yatra Vedaha, Avedaha bhavanti. For this person, Veda has become Aveda. Upanishad says, Veda says that for such knowing this, I think for such a person, even Veda becomes Aveda. Imagine, what a daring. The Veda says, well, we become as though non-existent for this wise person. Means who knows oneself as a Chidananda. So, and we should remember, which is very important thing here to discuss is, the karmas generate two types of phalam. One is a drashta phalam and one is a adrushta. So therefore, papa karma also generates drashta phalam and adrushta, both. So karma generates a adrushta phalam as a papa, means the wrong actions. Wrong action generates papa as a adrushta. And wrong actions generate guilt in you. That is a drashta phalam, guilt. Anything you do wrong, and then you basically repent on that. I should not have done that. I should not have done that. I should not have done that. Why did I do? Why did I do? People have that guilt never goes. We say all this is gone. It just doesn't go. It just doesn't go. After 25 years also people have. Wow, at that time, why did I do that? I don't know. I should not have said that thing to that person. And ultimately now I have to suffer. Like that. So, your wrong actions generate drishtaphalam in terms of guilt and generates papam in terms of adrishtam. And punya karma also generates a drishtaphalam. You feel good about it. When you do something good, I just told you right now. So, when you do something good, you feel good. Drishtaphalam, immediately, you experience it. And of course, generate punyam also, good karma. So, therefore, karmas generate both types of phalam, drishtam and adrishtam. Sometimes adrishtam is more, drishtam is less. I am not going in that. Otherwise, I could have discussed puja, etc. also, which generate what type of karma. I mean, which karma generates more adrishtam, etc. But the time is not there. The punyam na papam, na saukhyam na dukkham. Well, punya papa itself is not there because I am not a doer. Then where is a question of sukha dukkha as a karma phala? And if that is not there, I am not a doer, then where is mantra and where is tirtha and all that? Chanting mantras. Oh, I am chanting mantras. And definitely you are a doer, chanter. No, I am not doer. The mantra na tirtha. Well, there are no sacred places to visit for me. And na veda na yajna. Well, there are no Vedas for me. because I am not a doer. Veda is something, especially the Purvabhaga, the Veda is addressing a doer. And definitely anybody does something is ultimately to fall back and enjoy. Bhokta, enjoy. When you do, you are a doer. That time you are not an experiencer. Once that is done, you fall back and enjoy the karma phala, the result of action. I am not. So aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta. The first two lines negates doer, the third line negates the enjoyer, bhokta. First two lines negate kartrutvam, the third line negates bhoktrutvam. So aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta. Bhokta means experiencer, enjoyer. So I am not a subject of experience. Bhojyam. So I am not an object of experience, and I am not a bhojanam. I am not even an act of experience. All three are me, definitely. I pervade all the three. Without me, they can't exist. They don't exist. They don't shine. They don't shine, they don't become an object of knowledge also. They all are object of knowledge because I Chidananda pervade, but I transcend all the three. They are Mithya, I am Satyam. So verse 5 now, because so namrityu shanka na me jati bheda, very simple verse. Pita naiva me naiva mata na janna na bandhur na mitram na guru naiva shishya chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham namrityu shanka. There is not even a doubt that I will die. I am an invariable factor in the entire creation, including space, time, everything. I lend existence to everything. I never become non-existent. I never cease to exist. All the concept of non-existence also are sustained by me, the consciousness. Therefore, there is a question of a non-existence death for me. Death is something which exists now, will become non-existent later. Namrityu shanka. And why you don't have a death? Na janma. If I don't have a birth, where is the question of death? Because I was ever existent. Janma means something which was non-existent becomes existent, comes to existence. This is janma. I am the one who is in the form of existence. Things come and go. Names and forms come and go. Pot comes and goes. Lead comes and goes. Clay always is. The ease in the pot is ease of the clay. There is no existence. We say existent pot. Existence belongs to clay, not to the pot. Same way, everything exists. Space is, time is, the body is, this is, that is. That is me. That's Satya. I am in the form of existence. But what is that existence? Consciousness. Consciousness alone is existence. Existence is consciousness. All other things are just names and forms. Right? Entire Jagat is names and forms. That's how Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya. I am Brahman, limitless consciousness, which is Satyam, which cannot be negated in all the 3 periods of time, is called Satyam. That is me. So basically, Namrityu Shanka, well, there is no doubt because I don't have a birth at all. So in one hospital, one Swami went and inauguration. Some doctors, they were quite known to him. So said, Swamiji, please come and inaugurate our hospital. A group of doctors. And as he entered, these doctors have shown in the lobby itself, there was a big board in which they have shown the reasons of death. Yeah, heart failure, diabetes, so much of sugar, this. So many reasons. So Swamiji read everything. He said, you have missed one reason. Yeah, and that is birth. Yeah. The cause of death is birth. If birth itself is not there, where is death? So this is, and Bhagavan said, I told you also, Natvevaham Jatunasam. Bhagavan told there is no birth and death of this. Anyway. So Namrityu Shanka, because na janma, na me jati bheda. There is jati bheda in terms of species were Brahman Atma, Kshatriya Atma. there is no Brahman Atma or Kshatriya Atma or Vaishya Atma, etc. They are all there in the Janmana Ajayati iti jatihi, which comes along with the birth. But I am free from birth. But then there is something somewhere which comes to the birth here, body. Then you may brand. Of course, that's not correct. Because Chaturvanyam Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagashah. Bhagavan said this, we should classify the human beings based on, based on birth, based on Varna, based on disposition of the mind. Somebody is Brahmana, somebody is American also. Any human being can be classified. What they call it as a caste is wrong. Who is born in a family of Brahmin is Brahmana. That's wrong. Bhagavan doesn't say Janma. Bhagavan says Guna and Karma. Earlier it could have been there that the person who born in a family of a Brahmin may have a disposition of Brahmin. Could be. But now it is all gone. But there is classification. These Hindus classify human beings, etc. Hey, who doesn't classify? Here everything is classified, black and white and all. What kind of thousands of things classifications are there? Everywhere classification. Human mind definitely understands the thing by judging. Unless you judge a given thing, you will not relate to that. If you cannot judge a given person, you cannot relate. You will be away. Once you judge whatever, maybe a wrong judgment or maybe a right judgment, you have to judge. And that is where the drawback arises. And once you judge, means you brand the person. Afterwards, that person may be of a different type. Then you have to change your judgment. No, you are not ready. You are not ready. My husband is like this. Once you brand, and later on he really becomes a noble person, suppose. But now that nobility is nowhere in your mind. It's a dangerous thing. Most dangerous is branding. Branding goes against Vedanta. Vedanta says everything is just one. Branding means he is this. No, he is Siddhanta. Forget about it. He is this. Anyway, so namrityu shanka name jati vedaha. Pita name. If Janma itself is not there, where is Pita? Where is father? Naive Mata. I don't have father, mother, etc. Well, see, you are slowly understanding you are a lonely person. Because na bandhu, you have no in-laws, you have no brother, you have no sister. Swamiji, this is dangerous. If I know I am Chidananda, means I don't have anybody. I will be a lonely guy. No. It's a journey for the aloneness. Everything is I. That's how he said. Modern Vedanta and traditional Vedanta is far different from each other. Here there is a dissociation. I don't have father. I don't have this. I am not body. I am not that. No. We say I am not that. Then later we say all are I. Okay? All are I. If you add all of them in I, there is no loneliness. If you don't add, there is a loneliness. There is a loneliness. I don't have father, mother. I don't have in-laws. In-laws is okay. That is a headache. But then... But this is... The bandhu means no brother, no sister, nothing. No friend, na mitram. Na bandhur, na mitram, na guru, na shishya. I don't have any guru. I am upstart. I don't have anybody. No teacher. No shishya. Definitely. Let's down the standpoint. It is not. See, I have come to the 6th verse now. Nothing much to say. In fact, that you know everything. Now says aham. Here I have to discuss few things. Aham nirvikalpaha nirakara rupaha vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam nachasangatam naiva muktirnameya chidananda rupa shivoham. Here I have to discuss few things, and that is, well, aham nirvikalpaha. That's the first thing. Okay. Aham nirvikalpaha. I am free from vikalpa. Vikalpa means basically free from subject-object. Subject-object is vikalpa, dvaitam. Free from duality. So I am free from these vikalpas. Vikalpas, subject-object, are not free from me. Subject, the individual, ego consciousness. Seer consciousness. Hearer consciousness. You know you are hearer now, right? You know you are hearer now. Well, you also know that you were hearer before and now driving a car. That is Sakshi. Somebody was asking me a question, Swamiji, you say, but I always experience myself as just a waker. Where is this Atma? And as a waker, I am seer, hearer, etc. No. You know that I, who was drinking a cup of tea as a drinker, is the one who is a hearer now. Right? I was drinker before. I was drinking tea. That's why I was not saying, but now I'm just to show that ego. So I was a drinker before, is the hearer now. So there is another I who is connecting both the egos. What is that I? That is Sakshi. That is the one which, so ego is I, definitely. There is no ego without I. But I am independent of both, because drinker has gone, now hearer is there. Hearer will go after some time, something else will be there. So they are changing. Ego is changing, that also you know. So there is a hearer consciousness, drinker consciousness, etc. Could you follow what I am saying? And therefore subject also is consciousness. Object, of course, is consciousness. Otherwise object is object of knowledge, object of consciousness. You say object consciousness is. And therefore subject, object, both the vikalpa are me, but I am free from both naturally. If I am the subject, I can never be the object. If I am the object, I can never be the subject. But if I am something which is in and through both subject and object, which is present in and through both subject and object, means I transcend both vikalpas. I am nirvikalpa. I am free from vikalpas. Nirgataha vikalpaha yasmat saha nirvikalpaha. Nirgataha, gone. They were not there. Not gata. Gone means they were not there to begin with. When even you say I am a subject and I am object, etc., well, these vikalpas are not there. They are non-separate from me. I am neither subject nor object. Like an example is there. Like in a dream, you are the subject, the dreamer, and experiencing the dream world, and you are the dream world, the object. Really speaking, you are not. You are not a dreamer. You come out of the dream, right? And then you say I am a waker. You don't say I am a dreamer. Therefore, basically, you alone has appeared in the form of a dreamer and the dream world, subject and object. Both have resolved. So they are non-separate from you, but you are independent of both of them. You are nirvikalpa. Same here in waking also. As a waker and waking world, subject, object, right? Basically both are. You have to wake up further. Then you will understand. Yeah, we have to wake up. That is what Kathopanishad said. Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varanyabodha. So Yamadharma Raja told to Nachiketa, who is quite awake, not even drowsy, was very much awake. To such a Nachiketa was very alert. Yamadharma Raja says, wake up. Means definitely wake up to your own reality of yourself. Yeah. So waker wakes up to his reality, that is consciousness. You understand, waker and the waking world both definitely are non-separate from me. I alone appear in both waker and waking world, etc. So this is how aham nirvikalpaha. And all these are myself. I am not any one of them. I transcend all of them. And this transcendence definitely does not imply the disappearance of the forms, subject-object form. Does not, In order for the pot to understand I am clay, it need not have to destroy pot form. It need not destroy. So to understand for me that I am just consciousness, well, subject and object both have to go, destroyed. No. You need not have. This is called transcendence. You need not disappear this form, etc. So definitely, in fact, this is a remaining subject-object. That's how I say, I think, that your knowledge of a non-duality can never destroy the experience of duality. Swamiji, if I know non-duality, the duality will go away. Experience of duality will never go. Never go. Then experience of duality will give me ultimately the knowledge of non-duality. No. You are experiencing dual world. 50 years, 60 years. Nowhere you have got an insight into non-duality. Unless the teacher or teaching comes and analyze your experience of a duality, analyze and reveal that there is a non-dual thing which is a reality of both, the duality, subject-object. Then, so knowledge of non-duality cannot destroy. But Swamiji, you gave an example that it is destroyed. When I wake up, the subject-object duality is destroyed. I am only waker, non-dual waker, appearing both. So there it is possible. Now here you say it is not possible. If I further wake up, then the waker and the waking world will destroy. No sir, this waking world is not created by you. Dream world was created by you. As a waker, you created. This world is created by Ishvara. You cannot destroy it. Yeah. It has certain different order of reality compared to the dream world. And therefore, well, this will be there. Ishvara's creation you cannot destroy. Yeah. You are part of the creation, in fact, as a waker. So anyway, so basically, aham nirvikalpa. Now 3 things I would like to discuss is, when the nirvikalpa comes, we have a certain, these words are very known even in the Yoga Shastra also. And there it is a savikalpa samadhi and nirvikalpa samadhi, etc. So 3 things are there. One is a state of a deep sleep, in which also you have an experience of yourself as a non-dual, nothing else other than you, including space and time, nothing is there. That's also experience of a nirvikalpa, of you, non-dual self. Then there is a nirvikalpaka samadhi, in which also you experience yourself as a non-dual. And then there is a atma, which we talked about, where my nature is nirvikalpaka. Means I am free from any duality, I am non-dual, Brahman, etc. 3 things are there. Now in this samadhi, etc., I would like to talk about it. First let's talk about this deep sleep state. Deep sleep state is a state where you are very much there, but nothing else is there. So nirvikalpa that way, but you don't know that you are there. I mean, you are other than that, nothing is there, etc. You don't know. And so it is compared with a room which is empty, but with a darkness. So subject, object, both have resolved. Right? Vikalpas have resolved in deep sleep state, but you don't know. Subject, object, both which emerge from you in a waking state, both have resolved. Ultimately, mind only. So basically, mind resolves, ahamidam both resolves, but you don't know. Tamo vibhutaha. So basically, it is pervaded by the darkness, ignorance, and therefore you are not aware of that you are non-dual. Whereas in samadhi, well, definitely there are 2, of course. Savikalpaka samadhi is also there, where the subject basically fuses into the object. I told you, the painter, when he starts painting, he knows I am a painter and there is an object which I am painting, etc. There is a subject-object duality he is aware of. Slowly he merges into the object. Means only painting remains. He even forgets himself. This is an experience of everyone, that initially a given thing which you like very much and you start experiencing, then you as a subject merge into that object. A reader merges into the book. A reader starts reading a book, a detective story, Sherlock Holmes or whatever, some story. And he starts reading. Initially I am a reader, I am reading this book. That awareness is there, subject object. Later on, you are totally absorbed into that. Even you are, Swamiji, when can we say the subject, the reader is resolved into or absorbed into that? When you are not aware of the time, place, etc. Subject is gone. Right now you are an individual sitting in a hall, this is a time, etc. you are aware of. But otherwise, when subject is resolved, gets absorbed into the object, the awareness of time and place goes away. That happens. Painter is painting on the mountain. Remaining on the mountain, he was seeing something beautiful and he was painting. And on there is a valley, and he goes a little backwards and see how does it look. Again comes, does something, again. He's not aware. He's totally absorbed into that. So where he's standing itself, somebody has to tell him, take care, you will fall into valley. Time also is not aware of. When you lose the awareness of time and place, the subject is gone. Gone means merged, absorbed. And this is a capacity we have. We feel a samadhi or absorption is something very unique. Nothing is unique. Everyone has an experience. Somebody has an experience while watching a cricket match. One day World Cup. Oh my God. And that too India versus Pakistan. And that too now we are almost in a position that we may win this World Cup. And you should see all these bhaktas of cricketers. Where they are sitting, that and also they come very close, come outside of this. And as if that person is playing, no. He thinks he is there playing. Suppose this bowler is bowling something and the person is missing. The batsman is missing some run. He feels totally identified with the object. Totally identified. Samadhi, this is called absorption. Subject is absorbed totally into object. Not totally, subject-object is not resolved. Subject is absorbed into object. This is called savikalpaka samadhi. Vikalpas are there, but they are fused as though. The painter has many people, many artists. Many artists have this kind of. We also have some kind of experience. And nirvikalpaka samadhi means subject-object literally resolves. Yeah. This nirvikalpa samadhi, the easiest way of getting nirvikalpa samadhi is doing antah kumbhaka. Kumbhaka you should do. Kumbhaka, two types. Kumbhaka means you hold the breath. See, there is a puraka, kumbhaka and rechaka. So, in Anuloma Viloma also you can do this. Puraka means you fill up. Prana, air inside. And then you hold. When you hold that inside, doesn't allow that breath to come out, that is the time you will not have any thinking, I'm telling you. No thinking, no thought will be there. You will be immediately into nirvikalpa samadhi. No thought. Aham, idam, nothing. No subject-object thought. You are quite conscious, but no thought. Aham vritti also is not there, idam vritti also is not there. Antah kumbha helps the person. Any thought enters. So this, okay, anyway. So as I told you, the sushupti, the deep sleep state, is I compared with a room, a dark room, empty room. This nirvikalpaka samadhi is also an empty room, but lighted room. Could you follow now? Lighted room. Because you are awake, as such. But subject of a division is not there. And any thought occurs, gone. Or somewhere, in a next room, a child has started crying and you heard it, gone. Any thought, because somebody has entered into the room. No more empty. Yeah. And as that enters, aham vritti also enters. Hearer of that. Both come together. And that's how the person who wants a nirvikalpa samadhi, for him a thought is a nightmare. Thought is a nightmare. He all the time shakes off. Some thoughts occur, he like a dog, who rolls on its mud and then gets up and does like this, right? Or gets wet in the rain and does like that, in order to remove. Same way, this person also constantly shaking off his head, thinking that as though the thoughts will go away from him. Any thought is nightmare. In fact, more you think that you should not have thoughts, more thoughts will come in. And you remain a thinker. You are in a process of thinking that I should not have any thought. I should not have a thought. Itself is a thinking. So dangerous. But this kind of a pranayama, etc., help you because your mind cannot think. Once you hold, your mind can't think. Hold. Even Bahishkumbha also. But it is said, Bahishkumbha compared, once the breath goes out, don't take in. Then also the mind will not have any thought. Anyway, so Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, that is an experience. Nirvikalpaka experience, deep sleep state, is also experience, but Nirvikalpaka is my nature, which I already explained you. I am basically transcend both subject and object. Both, they do not transcend me, because their existence is due to me. They shine in me. They are objects of knowledge. I know I am a speaker now, definitely. So speaker shines, well, definitely me, the consciousness, etc. Object also shines. So I am by nature Nirvikalpa. I don't need an experience of Nirvikalpa. I am by nature non-dual Brahman, one without second. Ekameva Advitiyam, etc. There is other way also it has been explained, non-duality, etc. by Sajati, Vijati, Swagata, Veda, etc., which I am not going into because no time. But then it says, Aham Nirakara Rupaha. This is Nirakara. Akara means a form. I don't have a particular form, because all forms are my forms. And therefore I am basically, essentially I am formless. That is why, since I am formless, as a consciousness, well, definitely, I can assume the form of a thought. Yeah. All the thought forms are form of me, the consciousness. All thought forms. All forms are my forms. So even thought forms are my forms. Yeah. A given thought form is needed to know an object. Unless there is a thought form of a microphone, I cannot see microphone. To experience the microphone, to see microphone, well, if there is no relevant thought form, suppose it is not required, then you can see microphone at any time. Could you follow? Right now I am seeing here and I have a corresponding thought form. Thought form means what? Total mind assumes a form of microphone. That's called thought form. Mind assumes a form. But sometimes mind is ego also. Yeah. But I am talking about idam vritti. So totally that idam vritti, the mind, is in the form of a given object. That's called thought form. And that is essential, that is required. If that is not there, you cannot see this given thing. If that is not, thought form is not required, you will be able to see everything then together. Or you will not be able to see anything. Or you will be able to see microphone anywhere, anytime. No. You only, when a given thought form arises of a given object, then only you are able to see that. Anyway, so this is, so what I am saying is basically all thought forms are the forms of consciousness, I. And so, I am basically formless, and formless means I am limitless. Form, limit. Any form means limit, height, width, etc., whatever. And limited in space, naturally. Any form, whatever the form it is, it may be a very big form also, but it's still within space. So there is a special limitation. But formless means limitless. So I am limitless consciousness, etc. This is enough. Sarvendriyanam sarvatra ahamasmi. Sarvendriyanam sarvatra. Sarvatra is a Vishaya Saptami. Sarva Visheshu. Tral Pratyaya is in the sense of a Saptami. Tatra, Yatra, Sarvatra, etc. So, sarvatra means in all objects of what? Sarvendriyanam. In all objects of the senses. Means in all sense objects, I am there. That's the very essence. All sense objects are me. But I am free from all of them. Right? Sarvendriyanam sarvatra ahamasmi. So, and then, dacha asangatam. Still have to answer a few questions also. Anyway, dacha asangatam. Asangatam. Asangatam means a asakti, involvement, attachment. Dacha asangatam. So even though I pervade everything, imagine. Let me give you an example of a space. What is the thing which is not pervaded by space? Everything. Even my head has a space, right? Everything has a space. Here space, stomach has a space. The space pervades everything. Even small, big, everything it pervades. And since it pervades all the objects in and through, we say, well, it gets involved in all objects. Or means attributes of the objects, etc., as though affect the space. Never. That's how we never say space pollution. Space pollution we never say. Air pollution is there. There is no space pollution. Here in, no Swamiji, outer space has no pollution. Here the space which is inside, outer space means, go away from the atmosphere. They call outer space. And the space which is here is all Swamiji polluted. The space which is beyond our atmosphere has no pollution. The atmosphere has a pollution, not the space. And therefore, space, even though it pervades all the objects, dirty objects, etc., also, good objects also, but remains not asangam, free from any involvement, free from any free from any involvement, free from any attachment. So space does not get attached to anything. Well, then this consciousness which pervades even space, bigger than space, the consciousness, even though it is in and through everything, and still is asango yam purusha, we discuss also. So nacha asangatam naiva mukti. Again it says, naiva mukti, I don't have a mukti, I don't have a freedom. Well, naturally. Because freedom is there only for the person who is bound. I don't have a bondage, therefore I don't have freedom. What happened then? What did you do these 3 days? Now you say you don't have a bond? Yeah, they gave an example of a one Gurukulam, in which the Guru had kept some cows also, and one of the Shishya was given a task of taking care of the cows. So he takes every day those cows, 7 cows, to a pond, nearby pond, wash them, etc., and then milking, etc. All this was his job. And he takes in the morning and takes them to the grassland also. And evening when they come, he ties each cow with a rope. Ropes were there. Once he came in the evening, he found that there were no ropes. He could not fetch the ropes. So then what to do? Then he thought Guru must be knowing some mantra by which he will tie. Remaining in his room, he will utter some mantra, and so this will remain tied. Because otherwise these cows will they will go away in this forest, and when will I such? And Guru will get angry also. He has not to go anywhere, but he keeps on shouting, and therefore, let me go to the Guru. Guru, what happened? Well, because I don't find any ropes, so I have to tie these cows. How will I do? He says, go and tie them. But how will I do? He says, pretend as though you are tying. Pretend. Do like this. And so, but pretending the cow will remain. He said, this Guru has become crazy, I think. Tomorrow morning I will not find these cows. King Guru said, I am telling you, do that. And so, he went there and he pretended as though he is tying every cow. And then he was praying all night that tomorrow morning when I go, I won't find any of them in the cow shed. He went there, he found all were sitting, all doing like this. All the 7. Then because he was sure that he has not tied, so he literally beckoned them. So they just got up. But they were not moving. He said, I have not tied them. They should walk towards the pond. They did not move at all. Then again went to Guru. He thought this mantra from the Guru, because of that they are tied. So now new mantra with that, he will release all of them. He went there, he said, untie them. But he said, I have not tied them to begin with. I am saying untie them. Pretend to untie them. And then he literally did like this, and cows started moving. This is the story, our story. Right? So cows were bound. Are you sure? You know the cows were not bound. Basically, it's a notion. It's a notion that I am bound. If you think you are bound, you are bound. If you think you are insignificant, you are insignificant. If you think you are samsari, you are samsari. Then Swamiji, if one notion is that, then I will now have another notion, Swamiji. What? I am free, I am free, I am free, I am free. Will it work? No. Will it not work? It will not work. So, basically it should work. But to remove that notion, I am saying it is notion that you are small, right? or I am bound is a notion. For you, for the person who says that I am bound, for them, for that person it is not a bound, it's not a notion, it's a reality. So he has to discover the fact that I am free, self. Then that becomes notion. Bondage becomes notion. Yeah. So therefore, one has to gain this knowledge. Once you gain knowledge, no more Atma becomes an object of knowledge. Ma dhatu means to know. Manam, pramanam means means of knowledge. So meya means object of knowledge. Now you know I am free, self. Therefore, no more the Atma becomes an object of knowledge because I know I am free, self. Therefore, so nacha asangatam naiva mukti na meya. Chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Over. So Chidananda rupa shivoham iti Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharyasya Shri Govinda Bhagavat Pada Pujyapada Shishyasya Srimad Shankara Bhagavat Pada Krutau Nirvana Shatakam Sampurnam. Shankaracharya ji, who is called Bhagavat Pada. You know why Bhagavat Pada? Bhagavantam Padayati di Bhagavat Pada. Pad dhatu is there in the fourth conjugation. Pad padyate means to reach. That's how we have padam, footstep. So pad padyate means to reach. To padayati means to make someone reach, to help someone reach. Padayati. Bhagavantam padayati. One who helps you, in bracket, to reach. Where? Bhagavantam. Shankaracharya is a Bhagavat Pada, who helps you to reach. So, who helps you to reach means not by in terms of space. You are Brahman, you are Bhagavan, you are Shiva. In terms of knowledge, reaching is always in the sense of knowledge also. I have reached this conclusion, people say that. So basically, Bhagavat Pada, Shankaracharya ji, who is a Shishya of a Govinda Bhagavat Pada, my Nirvana Shatakam is complete. Now, still small session for question answer. Can you share that if few most important lessons you have learned from Swami Dayananda in your time with him? Yes. What I learned, basically I should say in a few minutes, is one thing is a vision of the Vedanta, clear vision, and not going away from tradition. Tradition involves basically a communication, so that other person understands the teaching clearly. The teaching which is there with the clarity in your head, if you are able to pass on to the other person with that clarity, that's called a skill of communication, etc., which I find with Pujya Swamiji. He always used to teach in a manner, even though looks the words very simple, but very direct. So it will not lead to any ambiguity. Another way, as Pujya Swamiji's name is Dayananda, I have found Swamiji a crystallized compassion. Yeah. Lot of compassion for all types of people. Swamiji was quite influential to the very big people also in our country, and industrialists, politicians. Swamiji had his impact because of his teaching, because of his personality, etc. And so he used to help others. Tell someone, which is not against dharma, but he tell, please help this person, he needs this. So all the time compassionate. He told us one thing, whoever comes to meet him, he always has this thing immediately in his mind, how can I help this person? That's how they say Pujya Swami Chinmayanji, Gurudev, gave him a name, Daya. Used to call like Daya. We say Pujya Swamiji, but he is disciple, so he says Daya, please come. Like that. So that was he. As the name was, his nature also was like that. Many things are there, but now time doesn't permit. So what about other people are jealous of you? Well, bless them. Bless them that they become free from jealousy. Yeah. This is the thing. You think you are jealous of that person, and you communicate. He says, "I am jealous of you." It happens. It happens sometimes, and you feel that you are jealous of a certain aspect. Generally, jealousy happens for a thing which you value, but you don't have, and others have. Some people are jealous of money, of somebody who has money. I value money, but I have less. Others have more. That's it. You become jealous. So basically, if other people are jealous of you, you should again pray that may he become free from that. This is a quality. A saintly quality leads you for this, for moksha. What people say, Swamiji, what is the qualification? I would say this, a simplicity, your openness to learn. People are not open. If they have some preconceived notions, they try to justify it in one or other way. They have followed certain sadhanam also, they will try to justify. No. Your openness to learn in this class, or when you are exposed to the teaching, is the qualification. I would say that is the Shraddha. Openness to learn. That's it. Keeping aside your preconceived notion about the teaching, teacher, etc. Some people have a prejudice for teacher also. So far as a traditional teacher is there, and you understand that what he talks, he himself has an understanding, and he's able to make me understand, then forget about other things. No, Swami, but this Swami is like that. Never. Learn with openness. So that is, I would say this is Shraddha. Shraddha alone. Shraddhavan labate jnana. What about a confusion where a family may not expect from you, but you feel it is your responsibility to give them, provide them. Yeah, to a certain extent. So when you find that you are ready for this knowledge and you don't want anything else, and they also don't need anything from you, as if they have given you permission to go. In fact, they remind you sometimes, don't you have a class today? They say sometimes that could be because you are boring, making them bore, or sometimes you interfere. You are a retired person, you don't have anything else, you go to the kitchen and what are you doing? What are you doing? So she says, you do your job, you don't bother me. Yeah. Then ultimately she gets tired and says, well, don't you have a class now in a Zoom, or don't you have a class there? Yeah. So that happens. But I would say the person is a blessing in a family. If you don't interfere, give freedom to the people, then they will allow you to have your own freedom. And you are a blessing to such family. And they will not expect anything from you. And you don't have much expectation. You are sannyasi. You can take sannyasa also. But if a teacher doesn't permit you to take sannyasa, no problem. Lead a life of a sannyasi. A life of sannyasi is a life of least violence, least interference. Sannyasi takes a vow of non-violence. Doesn't hurt. It doesn't become a threat to others. Yeah. Abhayam sarva bhutebhyah dattva sannyasim acharet. So you become a sannyasi, abhayam sarva bhutebhyah dattva. Give a non-fear, because you don't compete. If you compete, you become a source of fear. You don't compete with anybody. That's a lakshanam for sannyasa. So you may take formal sannyasa, you may not take formal sannyasa because of certain situation, but you can definitely, that's the time to give full commitment. When you commit yourself to the knowledge and not anything else, you are sannyasi. Sannyasa is must for knowledge. Please understand, not this. Not this. Sannyasa is must in terms of disposition. Disposition of sannyasa is required, not formal sannyasa. Taking even formal sannyasa, person who has a pharmaceutical factories and all, it is of no use. You are earning money and all that. Or do something else. Yeah, that doesn't work. Sannyasa is a lakshana for knowledge. Its color itself indicates fire. Fire indicates knowledge. Because fire removes the darkness around. Knowledge removes the ignorance around. So basically, committing yourself to knowledge wherever you are, being a blessing to the family, then they will allow you what you are doing. If you are not a blessing, they will say, well, and you are telling us to attend, but I don't find any change in you. You are as, people say that. They don't want to attend, but they justify why they are not attending. Because it has not brought any change in you, they say. And therefore, why should I attend? Why should I study Bhagavad Gita? They say like that. Raising voice, they will say. Yeah. Be a blessing to family. And there are families. What I am saying is not ideal thing. There are people who are blessing in the family. Yeah. They go and take advice also. They don't advise on their own. When they need, the children need, they go and ask advice and then they give. Otherwise, they don't interfere. It's a blessing. Because children don't want your interference. They feel they are intelligent enough to lead their life. In fact, they feel you are not intelligent, you have not led a proper life. Really, you have not led proper life. We know how to. We are more intelligent. A teenager's quality is this. He feels he is more intelligent and his friends are also more intelligent. These people are dumb. Parents are dumb. That is called teenage. Later he will understand, but once he marries and has a child, then he understands, well, that's not correct. All things, all were notion. Yeah. But you be silent. Yeah. Whatever is, you tell once. If you need my help, I am ready. You lead your life. Give freedom in order to enjoy the freedom. Yeah. I learned desire comes from God. You want to experience through you His own creation. I learned desire comes from God. God wants to experience through you His own creation. I didn't follow properly. The person can meet me after this one. I am seeking certain clarification. Ocean is blue, reflection of blue sky. Sky is blue, reflection of what? Or its own color? No, they say sky, etc. The atmosphere part. They say the sky is violet or something, scientists say, but it appears blue due to the sun rays in that the blue color has a least wavelength, so short wavelength, and therefore it spreads more, and therefore you will see the blue color. Yeah. Ocean is blue, it's a reflection of blue sky, but the blue sky has a refraction rather of a sunlight. And this is in Gujarati. Because it's in Gujarati, and I would take that question, explain the thing in Gujarati to the person who has asked this question. Okay, rest. Over?
I thought the last word I did not get, the meya.
Meya means, see, ma dhatu means to know. Meya means object of knowledge. When we say what knowledge, what is the subject matter of this knowledge? Atma. So Atma is called object of knowledge. Could you follow? That's what it is. So, nameya. For me now, Atma is, or the self, is not no more an object of knowledge for me, because I know I am Chidananda. I gained the knowledge. I gained knowledge, and therefore I am Chidananda, and therefore no more Atma is object of knowledge for me. When I was in the process, of course, well, it was an object of knowledge. Now it is no more object of knowledge. Yeah. Yeah. Vibhutvat. Yeah, nice. Very good. Vibhutvat, which is all pervasive. That's a reason. Sarvendriyanam sarvatra means I am pervading all the sense objects. Well, why? Vibhutvat, because I am all pervasive. So, it's very beautiful. I forgot that. So, on one side it says Nirakara Rupaha, I am formless. Then it says I am present in all the forms, all sense objects, both the things. So one way it is I am formless by nature, but I also pervade all the forms. No forms exist independent of me. No object, no sense object exists independent of me. Clear? Vibhutvat is a hetu. It's a cause. Because of all pervading nature of me, I pervade entire world, which is sense objects, which are all sense objects. Yeah.
Perhaps, Swamiji, given the opportunity to close offer the closing comments. Namaste, everyone, on this auspicious Sri Ramanavami day. Happy Sri Ramanavami, everyone. Many of us remember Swamiji's last visit last year, the talk on fearlessness. He's so lucidly explained the complex topic of identifying inner Chaitanyam, our real self, that most students understood the subject matter with a lot of clarity. I think you would agree that Swamiji's teaching over the last 3 days has raised the bar a little bit by simplifying the central subject of our Nirvana Shatakam, why aham, our own self, is Shivam, the auspicious one. Swamiji's unique style of teaching helps all of us understand the subtlest of the subject matter. Every word of Shatakam is simplified and explained clearly, whatever level of our spirituality we are at. Now we know why Shankaracharya ji wrote Shatakam and why it's so popular with a lot of us. Profound pranam to and thank you to Swamiji for taking the time to come teach us, traveling all the way from the ashram on the East Coast and impart the subtle for us. Swamiji, please come back next year and take us to the next level. I'll take a few minutes to thank all those who made this event possible. Pranam to Guruji, Vijayji and ABC for making this event possible, paying for the food and location and all the logistics. Thank you for Kalpanaji and Bharatbhai for coordinating with Swamiji and bringing him over here. And thank you for all the volunteers. Thank you for making the arrangements for the room, setting up the stage, tea, coffee, lunch, and everything else. We love you, and we thank you for bringing this event together for benefit of all of us. I think please give them a warm round of applause for all of us. Finally, thank you
Audience.
to all the sadhakas who thought it was worthwhile to come here to join us on the Ramanavami weekend. On the future retreats, please look for our newsletter and our website. We are planning some more. Join our ABC Satsang WhatsApp group as well for more information. And then finally, for receiving blessing from Swamiji, please come from the website. And then we will take blessing from Swamiji. The Dakshina envelopes are with Anandi. You can also do electronic charge for Dakshina with Raj. And then you can go to the Ashavidya Center website also to offer Dakshina directly. And then we will offer some of the collection to Swamiji. Jai Shri Ram.